So as you can probably tell that I'm pretty much into gaming, as you can probably see from my other videos, and honestly I would much rather go all physical than digital most of the time. But in the case of Steam, I obviously can't do that because it's all digital service only. But in the case of say something like PlayStation or whatever, most of the time I would much rather just get the game physically just so I can show it off. And I like I like collecting stuff. I don't know why it took so long to say, but and obviously depending on the item, it can either show how rich you are or how bad with money you are. Usually the prices of AAA games generally tend to go around the 80-ish Canadian, and I know it's crazy because I think in the US it's like 60 or whatever. But a lot of older games, it's a total walk in the dark. Like for example, I actually managed to get Pokemon Platinum for like $36, and it was a legit cartridge and everything, so that was amazing. And I managed to get Pokemon Ruby for like $24 before tax and shipping. And in the case of the Ruby, the save was actually completely okay. With a lot of the older Pokemon games, you could maybe get one that has a dry battery, but the one I got didn't have a dry battery. So for the price of $24, that was actually pretty amazing. But even then, even with newer games, I still would want to have a physical copy just so I can say, yeah, he'll look at my huge amount of games that I bought, and I have something to show for it at least. And then something else, yeah, I can scratch to this, but yeah, I'm not a kid, so shush. But even say if I had gotten digital games, like for example Cyber Sleuth on the PS4, I don't know, it's like I like seeing the cover and seeing the case of the game and putting the CD in, and yeah, I know you used to do that back in the day, but I still like doing it on some level because it just shows oh look, I get to press the button to eject the disc and stuff. It's very minor, but it's just, I don't know, I feel like that's a small little touch. But even with digital games, you could just it's always linked to that one account, and you can never lose it because if you lose the account, you lose all the games. But you could say the same thing with the physical if you don't have the thing to play on. Oh, actually, wait, go back to the digital thing. If you don't have it installed, you can't play it. And then I think I was going to go to that point with the physical games where if you don't have the system, then you can't play it. But chances are if you have the game, you might have the system to play it. Because with Steam, you kind of have to re-download everything if you go to a different hard drive or whatever. But both have their upsides and downsides. But both are still really good. But again, I rather have a physical product. Actually, moving on from games, there are just other types of stuff that I also like to have physical, like for example, figurines and Blu-rays. But first, let me talk about Blu-rays. And honestly, I only have one, and that was because I got that as a gift. And honestly, I would love to own a lot more Blu-rays, but again, a lot of them are pretty expensive. I think most of them are average around 60-ish, and if the anime or whatever is because I'm mostly interested in anime. Most of the series would, if they were over 24 episodes, they would split off into 2 different parts. For example, I think My Hero season 2 is split off into 12 episodes each for each part. So it's I would have to go buy part 1 and part 2, and then usually I think Blu-rays go for $60-ish dollars, if they are still in production. So getting a used copy might be even harder to find. So that's some can of worms, honestly. And I think movie Blu-rays would be a little bit cheaper just because it's just an hour and 30 minutes on one disc. But again, I'm not sure because I think the Blu-ray CD I got as a gift was maybe $24 or $30. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I got that one. And again, I mentioned figures a little bit earlier, and frankly, those can be a lot worse than some games. I remember one of the figures I bought, what's it called? That one was actually about $40-ish, $50-ish dollars, and that was just a normal stationary figure. I can't remember the size of it, but I think it's as long as my arm. I don't know if, but okay, that one cost me about $40, and then the $80 one, I got an $80 figure, and that was after tax. That cost me. The only reason I think it cost me $80 is because it was a Figma, where for those who don't know what Figma is, you can basically just move it around, move different limbs like the arms, legs, and whatever else. And again, that cost me 80 just because of that. And figures can go for really insane prices because I've seen like a lot of them cost like, depending on the size and what you can do with it. I think it's like usually 40 to like hundreds, and even like maybe like in real cases $300 or something. And then there's also amiibos that I've collected once in a while. Most of the time I think, because I've usually gotten mine from the store, like gotten as gifts, but most of the time that I think that they would cost like about $15 in store. Like at Walmart usually, they would cost $15, so those ones aren't as bad. But again, if I would try to find ones on like the Amazon or eBay, they could go for like, depending on the price of the seller or whatever. So obviously, the physical versus digital. Okay, in the case of the games, physical versus digital, you can argue like which is better. But in the case of like figures and Blu-rays, I obviously like collecting both. Like both. Okay, I don't know what point I'm trying to make at this point. Like, but like I can say physical copies of games are nice, and like physical, I guess just physical media and physical like figures you can have. It's just I honestly at this point I could just say I like collecting stuff physically, whether that be figures, media, or whatever. So that's just been me rambling on why I like physical media a lot better than stuff I can get digitally, just because I feel like with physical media you can just have it there and say look at it, and like you basically just have it there always, and no matter what you probably be able to play it somehow, because the PS4 can at least play Blu-rays, and like with figures you can have something to show that you're a fan of whatever series if you are able to buy it. And that's been me. Hope you guys see you guys later.